Our top focus on left, right and centre. Well, Pakistan is on the brink again, with no end in sight for its chronic political turmoil. In a dramatic set of events today, former Prime Minister Imran Khan was arrested after the Islamabad court sentenced him to 3 years in jail. This as he has now been found guilty of corrupt practices in the politically contentious Toshakhana case. What is even more significant is that the PTI chairman has been disqualified, which means he won't be able to contest elections for the next 5 years, coming as a big blow to Imran Khan's bid to return to power. Well, the court has also imposed a fine of ₹1 lakh on Imran Khan, and if he fails to, fulfill this particular fine, he will have to remain in jail for another 6 months. But before we come to the impact it will have on Pakistan's already precarious political and economic situation, what really is the Toshakhana case? Well, the Toshakhana comes under the administrative control of the cabinet and stores precious gifts given to leaders, parliamentarians, bureaucrats and officials by heads of other governments and foreign dignitaries. Imran Khan has been accused of illegally selling gifts he got during his tenure as the Prime Minister. He has also been accused of not disclosing information on gifts presented to the Toshakhana, as well as the proceeds from the sale of some of the gifts, the illegal sale, as the Election Commission of Pakistan puts it. Well, even though Imran said that he gave a percentage of the value of the gifts he sold to the government of Pakistan, the primary allegation of the Election Commission is that he made false assertions and engaged in unethical behavior as a Prime Minister. Now, these gifts are worth more than 140 million Pakistani rupees. But what's most interesting is the list of these gifts that Imran illegally took and sold. Well, it includes a graph wristwatch worth 85 million Pakistani rupees, also a pair of cufflinks worth 5 million Pakistani rupees, a pen worth 1 million Pakistani rupees, and well, the list is long and incredibly expensive. But given the kind of protests we saw when Imran was detained earlier, with his supporters burning down the Radio Pakistan building and the violent clashes we saw with the army, on left, right and centre tonight, we ask, in the politically volatile Pakistan that is facing one of its worst economic crises in its history, what next for Pakistan? What about the long due elections? Will they be delayed further? What does the political and economic instability in Pakistan mean for India? We'll have a very special panel joining us on that. But first, let's listen in to what Imran Khan had to say to his supporters before he was arrested.
मेरे पाकिस्तानियों, जब तक ये पैगाम आप तक पहुंचेगा, मुझे ये अरेस्ट कर चुके होंगे और मैं जेल में होऊंगा, तो मेरी आपसे सिर्फ एक ही रिक्वेस्ट है, अपील है कि आपने घरों में चुप करके नहीं बैठना। मैं ये जो जदोजहद कर रहा हूं, ये अपनी ज़ात के लिए नहीं कर रहा, ये अपनी कौम के लिए कर रहा हूं, आपके लिए कर रहा हूं, आपके बच्चों के मुस्तकबिल के लिए कर रहा हूं। अगर आप अपने हुकूक के लिए नहीं खड़े होंगे, आप गुलामों की जिंदगी गुजारेंगे। पुरअमन एहतजाज आपने करते रहना है जब तक कि आपको आपका हक नहीं मिलता, और वो सबसे बड़ा फंडामेंटल राइट है वोट के जरिए अपनी हुकूमत मुंतखब करना।
So, well, Imran Khan's appeal to his supporters there, but what are going to be its ramifications? Joining me, a very special panel tonight. I'm being joined by Abdul Samad Yaqoob, spokesperson of the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, Imran Khan's party. Also with me, Barrister Muhammad Ahmed Pansota, is advocate in the Supreme Court. Dilip Sinha, former ambassador who served in India's missions in Islamabad and head of the United Nations and the Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iran divisions in the Ministry of External Affairs, is also with us. Imtiaz Alam, well-known journalist from Pakistan, is with us as well. And so is Huma Baqai, who is a political analyst and is on a panel with the Pakistan government for media advisories. Thanks all very much for joining us on the panel tonight. Going across to you first, Mr. Yaqoob, how do you react to Imran Khan's jail? It does come as a body blow to Imran Khan's dream or bid to return to power. What is the route that you're going to take going ahead?
Well, first of all, we were expecting, we are not shocked, neither it was surprising for us. We were expecting the same verdict from Judge Humayun Dilawar. I mean, in Pakistan, usually when the benches are formed, you can expect the verdict earlier. I mean, so this was clearly understood, and this is going to be. This is happening by design. I mean, Imran Khan has become the sixth prime minister who is being eliminated politically eliminated by the judiciary. So he's not the first one. I mean, the Bhutto was hanged. There was Gilani who was disqualified. Then Nawaz Sharif was disqualified. So the same story is being repeated. I mean, nothing is new. So our strategies. I mean, first of all, we are going to. I mean, what you have witnessed is that the protests are not on that large scale, which were like on 9th May. So this time we have a new strategy. I mean, we are not going to protest on a large scale on the roads, but again, I mean, we are turning this battle into the legal battle. We'll continue the legal battle and we'll go to the higher courts. I mean,
that's a very important point you're making, that this time you're in a sense adopting a new strategy and you're not going to take to the streets is what you're essentially saying, and going to take the legal route. So, you know, Barrister Mohammad Ahmed Pansota is also with us. He's an advocate in the Supreme Court of Pakistan. Barrister, what really are the legal options before Imran Khan? We'll come to the political aspect of it. But since the PTI spokesperson is saying that they're going to take the legal route, how, you know, what sort of relief can we expect as far as Imran Khan is concerned? What are really the legal routes available to him?
Well, first of all, I'd like to make a brief comment about the judgment that has been passed today.
Go ahead.
Conviction leading to the former Prime Minister. I think it's a very weak judgment. Why? Because as far as the Constitution of Pakistan is concerned, it does not fulfill the requirements envisaged under Article 10A, which requires a due process and fair trial to be given to the accused. Secondly, the accused never got a chance and was never able to extend his defense, which is rendered under Section 342 of CRPC. Apart from that, the mode and the manner in which this trial was conducted was, I would say, impervious to say the least. And it is something that we've never seen in this 21 years of my practice. So there are a lot of loopholes. Now coming to the legal options that he's got, there is one legal option that the Islamabad High Court judgment will be challenged before the Honorable Supreme Court. And as per that judgment, this trial court judge was directed to decide the case and first the maintainability. So he decided the maintainability and immediately passed the judgment. So this judgment will be taken to the Supreme Court, and maybe Supreme Court suspends the judgment and then refers it back to the...
All right. Fair point being made there by Barrister Mohammad Ahmed Pansota. Yeah. Go ahead.
And the second option is that this judgment is directly challenged in the appellate jurisdiction before Islamabad High Court. I think both actions will be taken, both courses will be adopted tomorrow, but since it was a Saturday and it seemed like a planned effort to make sure that he remains behind bars for a few days, so I think both these actions will be taken probably by Monday. Supreme Court appeal has already been filed. So in the next few days, things will be amply clear.
That's right. Remains to be seen how that pans out. But importantly, you mentioned that well, it was a weak judgment, and remains to be seen how PTI actually appeals that judgment. But going across to you, Imtiaz Alam, because you know, the fact of the matter is that amid this political turmoil and election uncertainty, this has come as a significant judgment, because you see, elections are long awaited in Pakistan, and there are also concerns over excessive powers being given to the caretaker government. Some, you know, concerns that experts have expressed earlier on as well. Do you think this is going to add to the political turmoil, and will elections be further delayed?
Indeed, Imran Khan's arrest and his disqualification for 5 years is going to ignite a lot of opposition and criticism. Rather, I would say this will serve Imran Khan's purpose of becoming a political martyr. On the other hand, he faces a disqualification which will negatively affect his electoral prospects. But if at all, this judgment by the Session Court will not be ruled out. If it is ruled out, and there are possibilities that this judgment may be turned down and the trial may take place again. But as far as elections are concerned, I think the biggest hurdle in the way of election was Imran Khan's popularity,
Yes.
which had not gone down. And but Imran Khan, but there are very serious cases against Imran Khan, including that of 9th May, and the Toshakhana case, the foreign funding case. There are not many cases.
That's an interesting point you're making. That's an
Sorry?
interesting point you're making, that this could serve Imran Khan's purpose of becoming a political martyr, something that we've seen Imran Khan doing in the past as well. Yaqub, would you like to respond to that?
Let me finish one thing.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
I think
agree with
let me
Imtiaz Alam,
add one thing.
Okay, Imtiaz Alam, let Imtiaz Alam finish his point. I'll come to you, Yaqub. Yeah. Go ahead, Mr. Alam.
The cabinet has approved today the new census. And after the new census is announced, constitutionally it is binding that the elections are held on the basis of reconstituted constituencies.
Yes.
On the basis of population among the provinces. So it seems, and the Pakistan Statistical Bureau chief has announced the next election will only be held on the basis of the new list, of the new census. That means that election will be postponed for 4 months. That means that they may go to, not in November, and they may go to March next year.
That's a very important point. And let me get Mr. Yaqub to respond to that bit. Yaqub, are you seeing this as a politically opportune moment? As Mr. Alam put it, this could serve the purpose of Imran Khan wanting to become a political martyr. Are you going to milk it? Are you going to really sort of look at it as a politically opportune moment?
Well, I agree with Imtiaz Alam that he has rightly pointed out that the problem lies in the popularity of the Imran Khan, which is getting more popular by each day, each coming day. So as far as he remain popular, I am not expecting any elections sooner or on the time. So election likely to be delayed to up to 6 months to the 1 year. So, the next part of your question is that whether it can be an opportunity for us. Well, opportunity can be availed only when the elections are conducted on the times, and I'm not expecting any election sooner. So it's useless to say that we can encash the opportunity.
All right, Huma Bakai is also with us. Let me go across to you. Another aspect has been trouble within the army and what Imran's arrest could mean for that. Many reports and many experts have pointed to the possibility that a part of the Pakistani military is divided and in favor of Imran Khan, and that there could be a potential shake-up down the military chain. What is really going to be, the impact as far as the army is concerned vis-a-vis Imran Khan's jail now?
I don't think. I think that's a bit of an exaggeration. Yes. There was an element of discontent there, and there was support for Imran Khan, and I think that support exists even now. But if it is going to translate into anything which will create an institutional crisis, I really don't think so. I think what we are looking at is inter-institutional crisis and intra-institutional polarization. Pakistan is in a state of what I call political flux. Pakistan is in a state of what I call institutional crisis. The economic constraints are not helping the situation at all. But having said this, I think what has happened today is unfortunate, because like Mr. Imtiaz just said, that what is really rubbing these people the wrong way is Imran Khan's popularity. But I fail to understand as to why they keep giving his campaign and the man steroids for revival.
Yes.
Because this is exactly what this particular arrest will do. There will be more and more comments on how the legal process is flawed, how there are loopholes, how corruption has always been used to kick out political leadership and political governments. It is a weapon.
Mr. Pansota, would you like to respond to that point? That how there are certain legal loopholes, and as Ms. Huma also put it, that these legal loopholes in a sense are leveraged and exploited many a time by all these political leaders of Pakistan who have been facing serious corruption charges.
Well, one needs to understand here that PDM, or the party in government, they had a very firm belief that there has to be a level playing field. And for them,
Yes.
level playing field in the given circumstances meant that if Imran Khan is sent to jail or if Imran Khan is disqualified or is sentenced, so they believe that they might have a chance. They've already done that. So I tend to agree with what Omar has said, that all these convictions, these punishments will serve no purpose. Eventually, Imran Khan is becoming more popular. And it has always happened like that. Even when Nawaz Sharif was sentenced, or prior to that, even other political leaders were sentenced, they all become popular because politicians, one way or the other, the only possible accountability for them is through vote.
Absolutely.
When you try to restrict that through political victimization or such frivolous cases which are inherently wrong, such as Toshakhana, then nobody's ready to believe that. And then there is another concerted effort to prove that Imran Khan is corrupt, because Khan Saab has one perception here in Pakistan that he's financially not corrupt.
Yes.
So there is also an effort to make sure that, that they are able to achieve that. I don't see that happening because the mode and the manner in which this is being achieved is simply giving him more popularity. There are other strong cases, as Mr. Imtiaz has said, which are more strong in nature, and they could have very easily exploited those cases, but they chose to rely on a frivolous and I would say a vexatious case such as Toshakhana. It is being counterproductive, and Mr. Imran Khan is gaining more popularity. So I believe in the next week, this is my prediction, and on the basis of my legal knowledge, I think this judgment will be suspended for the time being. At least the appeal is pending, so it won't be much. His suspension of the judgment is not far away, as I see it.
And let me get Ambassador Dileep Sinha on this, because, what we're really interested in is the impact it will have on India. Now, at a time when, India is leading the G20 presidency, this sort of political instability, Ambassador, in Pakistan, do you think it could impact India? How could this impact India? Should India sort of move towards resolving its bilateral issues with Pakistan, given that there's no end to the chronic political turmoil in Pakistan?
I don't think this is likely to impact India-Pakistan relations at the present moment. As it is, relations are at a very low ebb.
Yes.
And it is unlikely to go any further unless there is a major terrorist incident. Otherwise, relations are at a deep freeze. There are no ambassadors in the two countries. And the political instability and the other problems that Pakistan is facing today makes it difficult for a government in Pakistan to take any major initiative.
Yes.
Because they would be involved with local elections, all other issues that people have just mentioned. So I don't think it is possible for Pakistan to take a major initiative at this present moment, nor do I think would it be possible for a government in India, because we also have elections coming up next year. So I don't see any major development taking place in the bilateral front.
That important point you made also about the possible, whether a terrorist event or something, it's only then that there could be some major impact as far as the bilateral relations are concerned. But how do you view this? Could all this further fuel insurgent and cross-border terror groups? That Peshawar incident comes to mind. What is your view on that?
That possibility is always there. There's also the factor that Imran Khan's primary support base and his close relations with the Pakistan Taliban and other fundamentalist elements is a factor in Pakistani politics today.
Yes.
And we have seen attacks taking place recently against parties of the ruling coalition. Incidents of this kind may provoke further attacks, both in the case of Pakistan-Afghanistan relations and also in Pakistan-India relations. If that were to happen, that would definitely impact relations. But short of that, I don't see any reason why India-Pakistan relations have any chance of moving forward in the near future.
Absolutely. And let me get Imtiaz Alam on that point you made about Pakistan-Afghanistan relations. Do you think, Imtiaz Alam, that such kind of incidents are, in a sense, not a very positive incident when it comes to Pakistan-Afghanistan relations? You're already strained, and given the fact that you're also battling a major economic crisis. Of course, there was COVID, followed by the Ukraine war, record inflation in Pakistan, the debt failure, indebtedness to China. So, do you think it's a good time to have such sort of an arrest? What is going to be the impact of that?
I think Pakistan needs a thaw with India, And I also think that if Pakistan and India without condition, even if they don't start negotiations, at least they can quietly normalize their relations by at least exchanging the ambassadors. There are no ambassadors in Pakistan or in India. And we can start some small things like relaxing visa.
Yes.
That doesn't change primary concerns of our primary issues of foreign policy. We can start some trade, and there won't be any objection in Pakistan in terms of inflation we have because of the supply side problem, say vegetables and other things which are easily available from Amritsar or East Punjab, from Wagah border. My information is that still there is a back channel via UAE, and this outgoing Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif has given a positive statement about Indo-Pak relations. So I think we have got stuck up on our own conditionalities. Pakistan put up its own conditionalities, India puts its own conditionalities. We can talk without conditions, and we have been in the past, despite putting up conditions.
Ms. Humay, would you like to come in on that point, that at a time when you should really be focusing on how to battle this historic economic crisis, such kind of political events, in a sense, divert attention?
It's a vicious cycle. The political polarization in Pakistan has fueled the economic crisis in Pakistan. We have not been able to take important political decisions. We all talk about belt tightening in Pakistan. That belt tightening does not happen. Even the government that is almost outgoing has allocated funds to things which is largely geared towards election campaign and gaining influence in the subsequent elections. So I think it's a vicious cycle. But at the end of the day, despite this discussion and the optics that it creates, one thing is that is good that has come out of it is that I think Pakistan's democracy, despite its flaws, is maturing. Because every time a situation, we've been hearing about martial law happening in Pakistan for last 2 years now, but it has not happened. So I would like to actually put in here that I hope sanity will prevail. Pakistan is going through a transition. Pakistan is going through a democratic transition and institutional transition, and hopefully some maturity will come out of it.
And the important point you made there, that it's a vicious cycle, political polarization followed by economic crisis. Ambassador Sinha, the last word to you. What should be India's approach at this time? Because many experts have pointed out earlier as well that Pakistan could be heading the Sri Lanka way. What should be India's approach at the moment?
India's approach should be to allow Pakistan space to resolve its internal issues. Fortunately, the economy seems to be stabilizing with this IMF loan coming through, but the political situation remains uncertain right now, especially with the elections also being uncertain, as most of the panelists have said. So this, I think, would be an inappropriate time for India to possibly take any initiative. As I mentioned, also because of the fact that India itself faces elections in less than a year. But nevertheless, India should be open to any suggestions, any meaningful suggestions from Pakistan, which I don't think will be forthcoming given the present situation. But if there are possibilities of trade taking place, for example, if Pakistan is interested in them, but that would be very ad hoc. Then I don't think we should close our mind to that.
And the government has made its approach in a sense clear as well to Pakistan many a times by saying, terror and talks cannot go together. And of course, this story, the Imran Khan story, is something that we will continue to track very, very closely. An important milestone in the already politically volatile environment there in Pakistan. Thanks so much to all of you for joining us on Left, Right and Centre tonight.